Hello everybody, it is me, Wasabi, and I'm back again with another episode of the Minecraft Fossils and Archaeology Genesis series. Today, we're going to be doing a couple of things, because off camera, I've been a bit busy, as you might have seen. This is almost done. I have created a prototype. Last episode, we created a prototype world eater, one with that used an extendable piston as a sort of proof of concept. Off camera, I have created the Mark 1 Mountain Eater, which is a cart contraption that is, ta-da, this thing. Now it's a Mark 1 because I didn't have a lot of I didn't make enough of these miners, and I needed andesite, so I ran out of andesite, so I could only make this much. I technically have a few more, but it would have been like, I think it was like 3 more and stuff, and it wouldn't look good. But yeah, like I was able to get this thing up and running, very cheap, and it does still have some stuff in here, like a little bit of dirt, bit of rust. But anyways, I have basically spent off camera doing nothing but babysitting that thing as it ate up all this. And when I mean it ate up all this, let me go to the map and show you the extent that I've done so far. This mountain is literally floating. If I just run until like we get it and see it in the distance, it's not tall enough to like get certain like small bits like this and those trees. And as you can kind of see, as a result, I have literally chopped off and created a floating like like a floating mountain. And part of me wants to keep it, but at the same time, when you look at the mobs, like that mountain troll right there. It needs to go. It looks funny as hell, and I would like to keep it, but unfortunately, no, that's not what we're doing. I had to stop it because I'm covering up this forest over here, which I don't mind. I wanted a big flat area to work with, and it definitely provided that. The downside is it just takes a while to get to the flatnet. Yeah, like I said, I stopped right here. I would like to continue on, giving myself a bigger and bigger platform. Eventually I'm going to terraform it so that way the edges don't look all kind of crazy. But other than that, I have been chilling and not really doing much. However, I did right before I actually clocked on, I had another one of those protoceratops had died from the same thing, a wildling hunter. And a wilding, I think it's not wildling, Walding Hunter, Ding with like the end. And I went over here to check it out, just like get the bones and stuff and the meat, so that way it didn't despawn. And I saw them; it was still in the enclosure, and I could see it through here. And it killed killed a second Protoceratops. Fortunately, that one seemed to not have been tamed to me, which is actually a sign that the Protoceratops in there have been breeding, creating their population. So I honestly don't know how many these things have killed. It only shows me the ones that have been tamed to me, and when they're not tamed to me, when they're not tamed to me, it doesn't pop up a message when they die. So as far as I know, there's been a massacre ongoing in this enclosure for a long time. Oh, see right here, this proves my point. They've been breeding. Look at this little guy. He's just a baby. Oh, he's just a baby. Now, I don't know what the max population, if I were to go into my Dinopedia, this is what we're going to be doing today, is we're going to create a animal for that big enclosure over there, and I've chosen Stegosaurus as the candidate. Honestly, these guys look pretty cute. This, I think, is a female, if I'm not mistaken. Whoop. Oh. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. Something happened with my game and I had to log out for a second. It's, I think, still kind of loading then, but it should be fine. Ooh, it's a bit jittery. Bit jittery. Alright, so these guys, like I said, they are having a bit of a problem where they're being predated upon by predators, and particularly this mob called the Walden Hunter, and it's a bit of a problem. So we're gonna have to try to rectify it a bit. I've gotten, as you can see in here, these shroom lights. These, I didn't want to use glowstone in this enclosure because it's a bit of a pain to gather. These are also a bit of a pain to gather, but I do have in my nether spawn like one of those warped forests is not too far away, and I'm going to pretty much put these in these corners and kind of move down. Not like, maybe actually yes. This is where the wonkiness of the enclosure kind of comes in. Put these down into the two corners, and then kind of press what I think is F7. Yeah, and it really it highlights where the mobs spawn. Whoops! Oh, there's a big lag spike. What's going on? Big lag spike. So I actually don't need these in the here. If you didn't know, you have the best thing to harvest shroomlights are with a hoe. So I had to craft up a hoe and get it enchanted. Yeah, so these lights over on these sides actually prevent them from spawning up here, but at the same time, I'm just gonna basically plant these and dock them in the enclosure a little bit to help in keeping the wildling population from attacking and wrecking our protoceratopses. Come through here every time I see like that. Another one here. These should extend pretty far out. Yeah, they do extend pretty far out, so I don't need too many, but I do need quite a few of these. And then just one right here. This really should help keep the mob population down in the enclosure. That way I don't have to worry about these things constantly dying. And I think because of their organic sort of look to them, I think they kind of fit in a little bit, and I want to check. I want to see what they look like at night. And all things considered, this one I can fit one on. Might not be as good as the other ones. The way I'm kind of placing them is, again, like kind of next to one of these little X's for like a demonstration, but then I don't want the full block to see, and I only want the tops of them seen, so I will only put them in places where you can only see them from the tops. And over here, and over here, it looks like. Another one. And another one. This one, and they don't. I don't put them on an X. I just put them like next to an X or close enough. That way, it kind of has this sort of organic look. Not like it's not uniform. Like that's what I'm trying to avoid is a uniformed look for the enclosure. Like this, I think this might actually be enough. Like 32 of these might actually be like close to enough. I guess I'll put one here. Starting to run a little bit low. Just like that. Another one. Get on over here. Whoa! Lag spike. I am not pressing a thing and it is moving me. I don't know what's been causing those lag spikes. I've been having them a little bit off and on as of late. Sometimes they're not that bad. Sometimes they get pretty bad. So we only have 6 more of these to go through. Nighttime is approaching, so I'll be able to see what these look like. I'll put up one up here. Another one right over here. So we're about down to our last 2. So we didn't have enough to cover the exhibit entirely, making it all lit up, but it should be about enough that I shouldn't have to worry as much now. Whoopsies. Get hope. Put this one over here, so that's just kind of a random spot now. Alrighty then, now I think this enclosure is all lit up, except for this little bit by the door. I can turn off F7. Get in here. And we can, and since it's getting dark, we can see what the enclosure looks like from at night. And see how the shroom lights look, because I might have to put carpets on top of them to kind of, if they look too ugly. Actually, I think it would be better to look at them from the top of the bridge, since the bridge gets a good point of view on this. Alright, I don't think they look too bad. I think the shroom lights actually look pretty good for the kind of aesthetic I'm going for, which is again more organic. The glowstone I think would have been just too much of a artificial look to them. Like, even though glowstone kind of doesn't look really all that artificial, but if it would have looked too yellow, too saturated maybe. Although I don't know if this counts as saturated, but they just look like they belong, if you know what I mean. Like the little clumps and stuff, the very organic shape versus like the glowstone, which is more crystal. I think, yeah, crystal would be the word. But now I don't have to worry too much about the exhibits, like all the inhabitants of my exhibit now being massacred by strange mobs. That's just so shocking, because it's only been one mob that's been killing my stuff. It's either the zombies for the carnivores, which honestly could be explained by them getting hungry and thinking the zombies' food. And because the zombies are well armed in this mod pack, they probably, like a normal typical vanilla zombie probably wouldn't stand a chance against them. But in this mod pack with them being armed and armored, yeah, they're a bit tougher. Oh, up and at it. Let's get some breakfast into us. Yum, 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 yum. Breakfast, just some better. Oh, speaking of which, one thing I did forget to do before, because I got a bit distracted with the lights, is the we need to fill up the feeders and stuff up. I was wanting to test out, can I put a hopper into the feeders? Because this would be huge if that's the case. I think before you couldn't do this, where you put like the hopper into them. Oh, I also want to show you, like, I was digging up so much cobblestone that I had to put a storage drawer off to the side with an external storage to be able to hold all my cobblestone. Now then, let's get over here. Let's just check out one of the feeders. I wish, in a way, I wish I didn't have to run all the way down here just to enter into these enclosures. But it is what it is. I designed it to be that way, and I'm going to keep it that way. It looks good. Still need to do those little support beams for the other enclosures. I've yet to do those. But anyways, let's see. This thing isn't too empty, but it isn't full either. So I'm wondering, is it working? It does work. I can fill these up. I can at least have like hoppers and stuff in here with maybe a oh, what are they called? It's a type of chest. What is it? It's like an ender chest. It's like you got ender chest, but there's a special one that I added into the mod pack called. Not here? Maybe look up chest. There it is. It is called an ender chest. I don't know why it didn't pop up over there. But yeah, these things can be color-coded. If you look at the little white stripe up there, they can be color-coded, and that color coding basically allows you to have multiple of those ender chests that can be, stuff can be put into them and then pulled out, and then you don't have to worry, and it helps with basically long-distance sorting or item transportation. Like how a normal ender chest can keep your stuff in your chest and you can pretty much go to any other ender chest and get it. That does the same thing. It just you can the color coding it allows you to have like different types of chests. So whatever it is, I'll show it later once I get through it. But anyways, those chests I could probably hook up to something like lag spike. Ooh, lag spike. I could hook up to this system over here, which is basically producing a ton of carrots. I think this is a... Oh, okay, so this over here. And I was wanting to do... Yeah, I have one over here set up. I just ran out of blaze rods on 4 of them. Because that's what you need. I was going to color code it like green, green, orange to kind of... Or orange, green to kind of look like a carrot. You know, like carrots. Pretty much orange with a little green at the top. And that way I would then be able to have this ender chest just be the one that like produces a bunch of the carrots, and then any carrots produced gets put over here to be able to make power. But then now that I've learned about the enclosure, I can now use that sort of same production method to feed all of our dinosaurs, so that way I never have to worry about that. In fact, I need to get rid of that thing. Where did I put the... Oh, there it is. So cool. I think I'm going to be putting that in there, along with you, so I have it with me at all times. So that way I don't lose it in, like, the ME system. Now, as for what we're going to do today is in terms of the stegosauruses, we're just going to get them going in the cultivators. And we probably might place the eggs, but we're not going to let them into the enclosure today because I want them to grow up a little bit. Because I don't know if the wildlings are continuing to hunt our dinosaurs. I would like them to at least be beefed up, if I can. And I might have to light up all the enclosures now, though. Let's see. Now we need some buckets, so we can get some iron. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 will do. 8's a nice round number. There we go. The bio goo. I should have enough zombie flesh. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. So we should have 8 bio glue now. Just put the buckets in there for later because I know I ran out of buckets at some point. So we do now technically have 9 bio glue. So those go there. And let's start cultivating. Oops. Stretch these out so. I don't know if I messed up that one. That might be messed up a bit. And just stretch these out too. I forget you could. It's not like it can only hold 1 or something in there. Now I don't know if the max population changes because of their like the big dinosaurs. Because the stegosauruses are pretty sizable. Now, the fun fact about the Stegosaurus that I've learned is that Stegosaurus and I think some of their like their relatives and stuff actually went extinct before T-Rex was a thing. Basically, Tyrannosaurus Rex would have had Stegosaurus as a fossil. Basically, I think something like Tyrannosaurus Rex is closer to us than it is to Stegosaurus, meaning that the hundreds of millions of years, the tens of millions to like 100 million years that the... Wait, how long did the dinosaurs reign? I think it was something like close to, what, 150 million years or something ridiculous like that? That amount of time, by the time Stegosaurus is an extinct animal, it's already been fossilized by the time Tyrannosaurus Rex enters the scene. I worded that so badly that it's like confusing. Basically, it's very simple. Stegosaurus existed in the, I think, the early to mid Jurassic. It was the Jurassic. There's Jurassic, and Cretaceous time period. Triassic. Is it Jurassic? Triassic? Then Cretaceous? No. I think it's the Triassic, the early Triassic, late. Yeah. They lived in the Jurassic period, and I think it was like the middle to early Jurassic period. T-Rex existed in the late Cretaceous period. The time difference between the mid Jurassic to late Cretaceous is longer than the late Cretaceous is to the modern day, basically. That's how I'm trying to. That's what I was trying to word. I just did so poorly, so badly. But yeah. Now, where did I put my carrots? Where did I put all those carrots? I had a bunch of carrots. Where did I put all my carrots? Oh well. Oh, that's right. I threw them into the thing, so that way it fills up the thing. Not bad. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna move this carrot production since I've realized that I can use it as a means to create a sustainable food source for my dinosaurs and have it be like a remote thing. Cultivation has failed. Ooh, our first Phalosaurus. Let's see how this works. Okay, he floats. That I was not expecting. I thought he would sink. This is actually pretty good. I want to keep him. I have one ball filled up the Hydra. I have another one that I'm going to use for the Phalosaurus. Give me a little guy. I thought he would fall down and he would just float to the back. So that there's a design flaw that I was not able to test. But there we go. Phalosaurus. Why do I want the Phalosaurus? Well, for two reasons. One, I actually want to make an enclosure for these guys. And the second reason is actually that I want to farm them. But we got king buckets. Yeah, because the Phalosaurus flesh will give a random DNA in the analyzer. Okay, so if I put a bucket of water there and then craft up the rest of you, I should have everything else. Power drops for the win. So these things, this will go here. Replace that. Get rid of that water. But yeah, apparently my whole setup down here does not work. They float, they jump, they float around. And sadly, without a means to replace the water real quick, that would be super easy if I could fit a piston in there. But due to the way there's just not a lot of room for the redstone. I did not leave a lot of room for the redstone to break the water block, because if I could break the water block or get rid of it, it would then fall down and then land in the water, and then it would float. Thus my design wouldn't be too crazy as it is. Maybe I could put maybe, just maybe, I could put a sponge in there. But so if I were to put a sponge in, I would keep it far enough away that it doesn't touch those source blocks, but just that one. So when the water source spawned, the sponge might be able to detect it and then like update it and then like soak it up. That might be a way to save it, because I could put the sponge there rather than have that block there. I could put that block as a sponge. Then how would I update if the block needs updating? Because it might break, it might be there, and it wouldn't be updated to detect that there's a water block there. Yeah, but if maybe I can put like a button on the back. Put a button, use a redstone to be able to update the block. Redstone signal might be able to update the block, and then the sponge might be able to then soak it up. That could work. That could work. I just don't have any sponges on me. Can I craft sponges in the mod pack? Ooh, sponge. What sponge? I can craft them technically. by using a wet sponge. Is there any way to get a wet sponge? I can craft it with a... Okay, I can get a wet sponge from an Elder Guardian, so that might be a good... Since it's a vanilla mob, I know it can definitely drop a spawn egg. If I were to use that to just drop a spawn egg... What did you... No, don't get to destruct. If I could use you to be able to and make a farm that spawns an endless amount of Elder Guardians, then kills them, I could get an infinite amount of wet sponges, which I can then turn to dry sponges, as well as the plasmian crystals, shards, and so on, as well as a bunch of the food, because apparently they get crabs, clam, shrimp, and cluster? That's cool. But anyways, this is why we make extra bio glues. Put one of you. Oh, it did. The hopper system should have picked up the items, did they not? Yes, it did. I love this. I love it when something in the system works. So the hoppers did pick up the items, and then they put them up here. So that should be the only... I see. Well, luckily we have one spare bio glue. So this one technically failed, but it's only because it didn't have enough bio glue, because I messed up the putting it in there. But do we have a name tag? Name. No, but I have emeralds, so I can buy one. Let's go buy an... Ooh, lag spike. These lag spikes are getting pretty bad. Right, put you in there. Go down here. Let's go buy a name tag for this guy. I think I'm going to call him GF. GF. Alrighty then, so I think you sell me... Yeah, you sell me name tag. I'm not... that hurt. 20 bucks for that? What are you selling? What are you doing? Ooh, acacia blossoms. Those are really hard to find. Banana peel? I don't know what that does, but that sounds interesting. Actually, I might need the orange dye. Oh, slime balls. Definitely slime balls. Buy the slime balls. Got so sidetracked by this guy. And borrow. I'll take your entire stock. Ish. Well, there goes a whole stack of emeralds. All just because I wanted to help out a wandering trader. But no, those acacia blossoms are really hard to get by. But anyways, no more distractions. Let's see these guys. Are they done? Oh, it looks like they're done. I just have to wait on those last two. Just gotta wait on the last two, and that's so... Woo! Lag. Get on here. No, we're just gonna call him GF. GF. And no, capitalize GF. God, darn lag, even the frickin' anvil's getting me lag. GF. And GF. Now, the third reason, and I had forgotten about it, that is probably a good way to keep it, is because of Slambos. They release a goo that I can farm up for infinite slime balls, so that way this one I didn't need to buy the slime balls off of that wandering trader. I could just use Jeff over here. Oh, another one failed. Unfortunately, this one I don't think, and it's the same cultivat. That's insane. Oh, they modeled even underneath the guy, so they did it. Oh, I did not see this coming. I'm gonna have to break that. I'm gonna have to kill this guy, and just so I can get this guy. Yeah. Back to the drawing board. Oh, I did not see that achievement. Okay, so as I was saying, they like to drop Fellosaurus flesh. If I look at you, you can be crafted into 4 bioglue. That's actually not that bad. But I do know for a fact that it can create a bunch, and I mean a bunch of the DNA. See for it doesn't, the JEI doesn't want to work with those, so I can't show you. But yeah, just Just believe me when I say that the Phalosaurus flesh is actually quite valuable. Sure, I would like to farm him if I can. Farm off Jeev. So let's see. We need cultivator, but we need a bucket. So that one's being pretty stubborn. Actually, need 2 buckets. One for water and to replace a cultivator, and the other for another one. What a win! Okay, another cultivator. She's got slime balls now. The next one is just milk for the bio goo. Come here, cow. No. I also got rid of all the pigs over there. Just because they were causing so much lag. I've been trying to handle the lag a bit, and it's better than it was. So I don't know if it's too many entities or something. Bio goo. Let's place this down. Yeah, the items dropping and potentially getting dropped on that the back of that is not great. I need to redesign this. It looks like I might need to redesign this a tiny bit, just because it might be a bit tedious. Like, the best idea would be to have a piston in the back that would have it extend the block out. That then can place the block and then push the piston and it pulls the thing back in case of things like that. But at the same time, I would need to have it extend for it to break the water blocks. Quite the conundrum. Probably could just literally mine out this one block and then have like a button off to the side. Probably wouldn't be too insane. Let's see. Oh, we only have this stat. Okay. I'm gonna make a piston real quick. And then turn it into a sticky piston. I'm gonna test this wacky idea out of mine. So, have it be a temporary, because I want this piston to face that way. Alright, let's replace those blocks. And then have a single button. Right there. Like right there. That way, if in the case that thing breaks again, I could then push it. Now, I don't expect it to have another Phalosaurus, but... Oh! Stegosaurus eggs looks absolutely fabulous. They look really good. I was not expecting that. Okay, so... I'm clicking. Jeez. So, this one, 5. I think this one would be the 7th. Wait, where'd it go? I have 5. Where did 6 and 7 go? Did I grab this one over here? Yeah, grab this one over here. You're the 7th one. Something happened? Okay, get you over there, got you over there. Got you over there. And... oh, it's over here. Oh, okay. How far are you? You're about halfway. If another Phalosaurus spawns, I thought that would be ridiculous. 3 in a row? Although it would give me a bit of a to test my system. No, I don't want it to break. I would be wasting resources. I love this laboratory. I'm going to try to build up at the top, because right now we only see this bottom bit. And I want to expand it to the top. Where, if I were to come running over here, get up to the top here, this has been empty, and it's been empty for a while. And as you can see, these redstone blocks are for the lamps underneath. I was thinking about making pillars, using the these right here to be able to create useful light sources for the building. And that way I can have like, and I wanted to have like these kind of pillars that kind of went up, and to have this room sort of be a display room slash kind of like mini museum. Like I want to have an official museum. I want to have a museum somewhere. I think maybe I was honestly wanting it to be like down there. Up here is going to be like our industrial district. All the machines and manufacturing for the park is going to be up here on this big old plateau that I've made. Over there on the other side of that hill, I wanted to build a museum and have all like setups. But here I was wanting to try to maybe have a sort of what I want to call like a private collection of animals and exhibits, like the fossils and stuff, as well as like the tablets. Before I wanted to make a proper museum. And the thing about the museum is like I actually have some pretty crazy ideas of what I want to put in the museum. Are you done yet? Well, it's past the point of failure, so it should be fine. Let's go to sleep. Ooh, good morning. Breakfast again is going to be carrots. But I think I'm stalling for time. A little bit. But yeah. So, I think I need... Oh, if I were to... Ooh. These room lights have been here for a long time. And I think they need to go. Alright. Now then, for the end of the episode, we're going to hatch out these guys. And we're going to, the next episode, use the, next episode I'm going to have made up an enclosure for this, for Jeff. We're going to have an enclosure set up for Jeff. And I'll show you that off next episode. But before we leave, we're just going to basically hatch out these guys. In our little hatchery. 1, 2. Oh, geez, these are big. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, these guys are chunky. Like before, the last ones were like kind of tiny. These are big. Like they've really put some variety into the eggs in the fossils and archaeology mod. Although sadly, because it's they can't, I think, truly replicate a lot of the dinosaur eggs that we know of because they just don't look very Minecrafty. Like, I would love to see, like, a nest block in the game, or, like, a small mini structure, kind of like a 2x2 kind of structure like this, that has, like, a ring around and stuff that is basically for dinosaur eggs. Because we don't know what every dinosaur egg looks like, because we just haven't found eggs for every single dinosaur we know of. And then partially because there's, like, so many species that we just really don't know what they look like, because we just only found, like, a piece of like its ankle bone, and like that's the only specimen for that entire quote-unquote species exists. It's very rare for us to know almost exactly what a dinosaur looked like, because complete fossils, or mostly complete fossils, are surprisingly rare. But anyways, we've got them halfway. These things go pretty fast. Are these ones each? No, those ones are cold. No. I thought this one would be a nerf. We're not gonna move it. Okay, so you are still cold. You are warm. Can I pick? Oh, I can pick them up this way. Banana. Does that ruin the progress? I think it does. Yep, it ruins the progress on them, so they're on. These guys have to restart. But these guys over here. Oh, that one's the only one that's like about ready to hatch. But now I have all of them that are warm. So this one's gonna be the first one to hatch. Let's see. I think I have a name. I'm gonna have to start naming my dinosaurs, because, well, I want, if the max population is them just not breeding, And anything beyond that, I want to, name all of them. 7 names for each dinosaur. Okay, that one's starting to boogie, starting to dance. Shit, put it down. Whoops, something happened on my. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, but yes, 6, 98, 99, 99. Yeah, that's her name, 99. I'm gonna call that one 99. What are you? You are a female. Max population 7, so we should have a max population right off the go. What was that animation? What was that? Do it again. Do it again. What was that animation? You guys saw that? It was like brrr. That that actually brought a tear to my eye. That generally made me laugh quite a bit. That I have a tear in the corner of my eye. That was hilarious. So she's neutral. That's so cartoonish. That's like a cartoon character, like. Oh my god, that brought a genuine tear to my eye. But unfortunately, 99, you've made yourself too special. Oh, shit. I'm kidnapping the dinosaur. Yeah. I'm keeping 99 away from everybody else. You say like, oh, this is cruel. No. She's special. She was the first to hatch of her generation, of her species. Being brought back to life after, what, hundreds of millions of years? But it looks like all of her brothers and sisters are actually popping up. Don't worry, I'll put her back in. Don't worry, 99 will get put back into the enclosure, but she needs a name tag first. So that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to throw a name tag onto her, then bring her back over here. But they all do the little wobble. Oh, that's so good. And I guess I'll be seeing you guys next episode. We'll be putting these guys into their enclosure next episode, as well as we'll be celebrating with the name tag of 99 over there. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.